What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Republic of Arsenal. Transfer deadline day. No doubt it's going to be an absolutely hectic day of rumours, transfers. There's going to be talk of players coming in, players coming out. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to break this into two different sections because there's going to be a fair bit to talk about. It's still quite early in the day. It is, at time of recording, it's just gone about 25 to 3. So no doubt between now and the 11 o'clock deadline tonight, there's going to be plenty of stuff happening that I'm going to miss out on now. So I'm probably going to end up coming back a bit later on. I'm just going to focus on this one, more so talk about Arsenal's kind of dealings out of the club rather than in, because I sort of want to just give it an extra couple of hours just on the off chance, just in case anything does get done between now and the close of the deadline. So look, I'll just quickly touch on a couple of the deals we've already done this January. We know that Arsenal have already brought in a backup goalkeeper, Matt Ryan, come in on a 6-month loan deal from Brighton. We've also brought in Martin Odegaard, who's come in from Real Madrid, again, another 6-month loan deal. And our under 23s, we've boosted with Omar Rekic. I think it's Rekic. I keep saying Rekic, and then I say Rekic. I'm not 100% sure. Or Ekik. If anybody wants to correct me, you know what to do. Throw it down there in the comments. Again, Odegaard. Again, let me know because I'm probably butchering these names. But hey, look, we're trying. The business we've done out of the club, as well as the business in. I think we've done some good deals, but again, I'm kind of going to leave that maybe for later on. We'll talk a bit more. The business out, I think, has been good as well. Matt Macy, third choice goalkeeper, he's gone to Hibs in Scotland. Looks like a 6-month loan deal as well. His contract is due to expire in the summer anyway, so I think it's pretty much a permanent now. He may not be permanently gone to Hibs, but it looks like he's not coming back to the club regardless. Sead Kolasinac, he's gone on a 6-month loan deal back to the Bundesliga, back to Schalke, where we originally got him from. Socrates has agreed a termination deal with the club. Again, wasn't registered to play all season. He's a good professional, let's be fair. Never kicked up over not playing and that. But look, not fair to the guy to keep him hanging about the club. He needs to kick on with his career. I think it was the best option. Let him go. He's signed for Olympiacos now, so we wish him all the best. William Saliba, another player. I think it's smart in a couple of senses. William Saliba, he's gone out on loan to Nice. First of all, it's smart because we need him playing. We need him playing football. He's definitely going to get the minutes playing for Nice. As well as that, I think the club had to shift focus away from William Saliba because there's so much talk surrounding him, obviously to do with his £27 million transfer to Arsenal. He came with so much hype, and rightfully so. He looks a real prospect. Now, he hasn't played a minute of first team football for us. He's featured only in the under 23s. So, understandably, the fan base has been talking. I like what Arteta is doing. If you look at some of the players that have exited the club, it's a bit more, I think, trying to keep the peace and harmony in around the dressing room. So yeah, Saliba, he needs the minutes. It's beneficial for him to go out and actually play football. There was a lot of talk. I'm seeing a lot of quotes from Saliba talking about how he hadn't featured. I've still seen quotes about how it hasn't quite panned out for him at Arsenal at the moment. So again, I think we need to kind of keep that quiet for a moment, and I think the fans just need to just cool it down a small bit with Saliba. I don't think it's doing anybody any favours. So let's just let him go to Nice, do his thing, hopefully come back next season a much better player and ready to really challenge for a spot in defence. The big one, Mesut Ozil, again, It's another one. The club just they had to come to a resolution with this one. He's agreed a termination. Apparently, a 7 million payoff he got. He's moved on to Fenerbahce again. I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's like a broken record at this stage. It's been well documented, all the issues surrounding Ozil and that. I think the best for the player, he goes elsewhere, he can reignite his career. The best for the club, we can move on from the Ozil tag that's been attached. So again, wish him all the best. So today already I've seen it's mostly regarding young players is what I'm reading so far. Matt Smith, FA Cup winner with Arsenal last season, and a lot of people are probably saying Matt Smith, FA Cup, who the hell is this guy? Matt Smith, 19-year-old player, actually made the bench for the Chelsea game. Now he picked up a winner's medal in the FA Cup final last season. He hasn't actually featured. He hasn't played a minute of first team football, but because he was on the bench, he did actually get a winner's medal. So he is an FA Cup winner, technically. He's been out on loan at Swindon. Now the club have recalled and reloaned him. He's gone out to Charlton now. So again, it'll be interesting to see his development going forward. He's obviously a player that Arteta and the club keep in high regard because, as I said, they had to include a player on the bench, and he got the shout. So obviously they're looking at a guy as a potential for the future. So definitely be keeping an eye on him. Two other youngsters, a name that'll be familiar to a lot of people, be Zech Medley. Again, another player. He's been on the bench, Europa League games, and that. Another player that I guess we probably thought was going to feature a little bit more, probably get a bit more of a chance in the first team. Maybe more so, I think Unai Emery took a liking to Medley, and since his departure, it hasn't quite worked out under Arteta. He's been out on loan at Gillingham. Also, Trey Coyle, who's another name, he was training with the first team earlier in the season. He also went out on loan to Gillingham. Now, both guys have been recalled. At the moment, my understanding is that Zech Medley, the club are actively searching for a new club to send him out on loan to. He was doing well at Gillingham until he picked up an injury which really hampered his progress. Trey Coyle was being used more so as a substitute at Gillingham. It's not known yet whether Coyle is going to stay with Arsenal or whether the club are also looking for a move for him. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Another young player, Harry Clark, he was out on loan at Oldham. Now his deal was only till the end of January. The clubs have agreed to extend it. It's a good move. Again, Harry Clark is another name that I know of from in and around the youth teams. I've heard him mentioned as being a good prospect. So he's played, I think it's 19 games he's played for Oldham. So definitely makes sense. Keep him at the club, keep him playing football. Who knows? He could be another guy who next season we're seeing introduced to the first team setup. Now, a couple of first team kind of names here. Shkodran Mustafi. Look, contract expires in the summer. Well documented that himself and the club are in negotiations to terminate his deal early if possible. Liverpool have been linked, but it looks as though they're set to sign the Preston centre back Ben Davis. They're also meant to be looking at Schalke defender Ozan Kabak. Now, Schalke today are being linked to Mustafi, so he might be key to any potential deal for Kabak to Liverpool. It could be a case of Schalke get Mustafi in and then they'll allow Liverpool to be in negotiation with their player. So he could hold the key to that one. Look, that one I think makes sense for Mustafi. He can go play in the Bundesliga. He can go to Germany, and I'm sure he's going to want to link up with his good friend Said Kolasinac in Gelsenkirchen. So, yeah, that one makes sense. Newcastle are strongly linked to Joe Willock. Now, this again is a move that I think makes a lot of sense. Like, he needs the game time. We've seen the potential he has in Europe, in the Europa League. He's a level above what he's been playing against in the Europa League, but at the same time, he might be slightly a level below what we need in the Premier League. So it's going to be nice to see Willock go, hopefully, to a Premier League club. And Newcastle, I think, would be a good move for him. It is a big it's a big club for a young player like that, and I think with the kind of options they have in midfield, I think he will get minutes, and it can only benefit the player, and it can only benefit Arsenal. I think it's a win-win for us because we send him out on loan, he gets his minutes, we get to have a proper look at how he can adapt in the Premier League, maybe at a club where he's a bit more dependent on. We might see him come out of himself a small bit. It's not that he hasn't got a chance at Arsenal. I think last season he played over 40 times in all competitions. Like I said, sometimes it's hard for the young players because we have this expectation. We're chasing European football. Top four is the dream. So I don't think we can really afford to have the young guys in there and give them whatever amount of time it takes for them to develop. We're looking for a bit more of the ready to go here and now. So, like I said, I think it's a win-win. Willock will go off. Will hopefully get the playing time that he needs. He'll either come back to us a much better player and give us another option for next season in terms of a squad place, or else he will hopefully do well at Newcastle and retain sale value, and we can move him on and then use that money to reinvest in the squad. So yeah, it's a smart decision. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, another player, needs to be playing week in, week out. We could have cashed in on Maitland-Niles in the summer when Wolves came knocking, but Ainsley finished last season very, very strongly, and he really did make himself an important fixture in Mikel Arteta's plans, or so it seemed. It hasn't worked out for him this season. I think Ainsley, I think what makes Ainsley special, I think contributes to his downfall in the long run as well. We've seen he's a very versatile player. He's a solid option in different positions. He can play left wing back, right wing back. He can play right wing, centre midfield. A variation of different players. A player like that is always very, very handy to have. At the same time, as versatile as he is, and as solid as he is in various positions, he's never, to me, stood out as our best option in any of those positions that he can cover. So, in a sense, he reminds me of sort of like an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Okay, we knew there was a good player there. We just didn't know where he was best played. And again, at the time we had him, was he our best option in the positions he wanted to be playing? I don't think so. Makes sense again for Maitland-Niles to move on. For him, for us, again, if a sale is what happens at the end of it, and the player is happy, he's getting the play time elsewhere. Yeah, look, I think we might as well. We cash in. Again, if it does work out and he does very well and he finds a position in a team, maybe next season in Arsenal and Arteta might go, okay, he played, let's say, centre midfield, for example. He's done well. Okay, we'll give him a shot there next season. So it only opens up options for all involved. Southampton is looking the likeliest destination at the moment. I have seen Leicester and I've seen West Brom mentioned. I like the idea of Southampton. And the reason why I like Southampton is like they're a good side. Manager Ralph Hasenhüttl has them playing good football. I like the intensity of their play. I like that they play with that really intense high press. They don't give the opposition a minute on the ball. They don't allow them to relax. So to me, they're a side with a really good work ethic. My biggest critique of Maitland-Niles would have been at times he's a bit too casual, a bit too calm. Sometimes that's on the ball and off the ball. So I think like that, if you can put him into a side like Southampton that have that kind of mentality, I think it can only be a good thing for him. He might come back to us with that bit more of a drive and a kind of get up and go kind of attitude, and maybe if he can cut that bit of kind of casualness out of his play, I think he'll benefit as a player. Reece Nelson is another player now. He struggled for minutes. Look, we're seriously stacked on the wing as it is, and let's be fair, nobody is taking Bukayo Saka's spot on that right wing. We're even starting to see Nicolas Pepe the last couple of games, whether the left or the right, he's starting to kind of come into himself a little bit. So if he can continue his kind of improved form, it's going to be very, very difficult. You've still got Willian as well. Now, say what you will about Willian. I don't particularly rate him myself. Last season, yeah, I thought he was a good player. For what he's done this season, I don't think he should be getting the minutes. But look, that's another story altogether. Unfortunately, Mikel Arteta disagrees with me, and he seems to want to keep on including Willian in the team. So look, there's basically no place for Reece Nelson at the moment. He's got to go. He's got to play. Again, it comes down to for the player, he has to play for the sake of his career and his development. For the club, we have to get these guys out playing to see are they ready and able and going to be good enough for Arsenal in the future, or are we just going to put them out there, get them in the shop window, increase their value a little bit. You can argue now they've extra bit of first team football. Um, he impressed when he went out to the Bundesliga at Hoffenheim in 2018-19 season, and Hoffenheim and Wolfsburg understood to want to take him back to the Bundesliga. He's only managed 70 minutes of the Premier League this season. When he was at Hoffenheim, 7 goals and 23 appearances. So I'm sure they have fond memories of Nelson. He probably has fond memories of his time in the Bundesliga. So I don't imagine he'd be opposed to a move back there should it arise. I'm going to finish up on one more player, Lucas Torreira. This is another player, again, a little bit in limbo with his Arsenal career. It doesn't look as though he's going to have a future at the Emirates. He's currently out on loan at Atletico Madrid. Hasn't quite worked out for him out there in La Liga. Hasn't been getting the minutes I think he would have expected to get. I don't think Atletico are overly impressed by what they've got so far from Torreira. I can't see them committing to making it a permanent move. There has been talk of Fiorentina and Inter Milan wanting to take Torreira back to Serie A. Torreira's agent has since come out and said Torreira is an Atletico player. He's very happy there and he will not leave Madrid in January. There was talk about a move to Monaco, but if the agent is to be believed, it seems as though he may continue out there in La Liga. And maybe he'll depart Arsenal in the summertime. So as I said, that's a bit of a breakdown of just some of the ongoings today, more so the outgoings. I'm sure there's probably going to be a couple more names will pop up in terms of going out. There may be one or two surprises. We'll just have to wait and see. There's still plenty of time. I think there's still about 8 hours to go before the window shuts. So what I'm planning on doing is this has been more of the moves out of the club. So I'll probably come back in a couple of hours and do who's come into the club or talk of who's coming into the club. We're still being linked with a left back. That seems to be the position that's going to be filled, if any. But again, look, January deadline day. It can throw up all sorts of surprises. You never know. There's sometimes a deal that'll catch you off guard, similar to the Matt Ryan deal, kind of flies under the radar. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back and hopefully I'll have plenty more to talk about in the next video. So thanks again for checking it out. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel. Come on, you Gunners.